Josie. Today we are going to talk a little bit about The Stormkeeper's Island by Catherine Doyle. This is our book pick of the month. It's one of the OBOB books for the 2021-2022 school year. So maybe you've read it. If you have, we're going to do some activities around it that you might recognize. And if you haven't read it, that's okay. You can still have fun with us today. So first, we're going to talk about the different activities. Here's some quiz questions, but not answers, and hear about a couple of books that might be interesting if you really liked The Stormkeeper's Island. After that, we'll really delve into the creative activity. And finally, we'll get those quiz answers at the very end. So if you were able to pick up a kit, you would have watercolor and a candle. How odd. So we'll learn what we're going to do about these, maybe make some different kinds of paintings with them. That'll be later in the show. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the quiz questions. So if you're part of OBOB, you do these quizzes all the time. If you're not part of OBOB, maybe you can just dig through your brain and see if you know the answers to these questions. Let's get started. First, who was the protagonist of The Stormkeeper's Island? Stop and think about that one for a little bit. Who was the protagonist of Stormkeeper's Island? Next, what was Fionne's grandfather's profession? What was Malachi's profession? And does it have anything to do with our art activity later today? Number 3, according to Malachi, what was Fionne's grandmother afraid of? This could be a tough one. Next, what was Fionne's sister's name? What are Fionne's sister and her friend Bartley searching for? And what is Fionne's great fear? So, if you heard those, I might have given you some hints in some of the other questions. So some questions could get some hints from some of the other questions, but I'm not going to give you the answers yet. I'm going to go ahead and go through them one more time just so they're nice and clear, and then we'll talk about some great books that you could read if you liked The Stormkeeper's Island. Okay, who is the protagonist? What is Malachi's profession? What does he do for work? According to Malachi, what was Fionne's grandmother afraid of? What is Fionne's sister's name? What are Fionne's sister and her friend Bartley looking for, searching for? And what was Fionne's greatest fear? Okay, think about those questions for a bit. We're going to switch gears and do some other stuff. We'll come back and do the answers in a bit. So, if you loved A Stormkeeper's Island, you should probably know, or maybe you don't know, that's okay, that there are 2 sequels. The Lost Tide Warriors, in which Fionne and his sister, again, are trying to summon Dagda's army of marrows. So, that's number 2. Number 3 is the Stormkeeper's Battle, where it all comes together and they have to defeat the evil sorceress Merrigan. So, we've got a trio of books, The Stormkeeper's Island, Lost Tide Warriors, and The Stormkeeper's Battle. Those are all in the same series of The Stormkeeper's Island by Catherine Doyle. But maybe you want something outside of that realm. Maybe you want a different kind of adventure. So The Unwanteds by Lisa McMahon is another great series. 2 twin brothers are separated, one going to university and one being shuffled aside into the realm of the unwanteds. Anyone with artistic ability is shuffled into this side, and when he gets there, he feels that he's going to be eliminated, but instead discovers a magical world. So The Unwanteds by Lisa McMahon, another discovery of magic in the world. Got another kind of fish out of water one here, The Mostly True Story of Jack by Kelly Barnhill. Jack is sent to live with his kind of odd aunt in the country, and when he gets there, he finds that everyone in the small town finds him extraordinary or threatening or somehow interesting. He's used to being very invisible in life, so it's very surprising that people notice him so much. We wonder why, and you can find out if you read The Mostly True Story of Jack by Kelly Barnhill. Now, in a little more magical, all-the-way world, The Curse of the Night Witch by Alex Astor. You have young Tor is living under a curse and must learn how to break it by meeting the Night Witch. So The Curse of the Night Witch by Alex Astor is a magical adventure. And finally, if you want something a little bit more scary, I've got The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. In this book, no one's afraid of Jumbies. They aren't real. Until venturing into the woods one night and a pair of bright yellow eyes appear. Could it be a Jumbie? Are they real? This one's a little scary, so keep that in mind if you decide to read The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. Okay, we're gonna switch gears a little bit, so grab your art supplies, grab some paper or some other supplies, and we are gonna go ahead and learn what to do with our candle and our paint. That's an interesting combination. So join me for the next segment. Okay, here we go, on to the creative part of our Stormkeepers Island program today. We are looking at the book Stormkeepers Island, which is an OBOB selection this year, and we're gonna get a little creative with it. So I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I wanted to look at watercolor. So watercolor is a great way to paint storms, the wetness, the grayness, the blended colors, the inexactitude of the way a storm would look. So what we're going to do today is maybe paint some storms, or we could paint hidden messages using another key part of the Stormkeepers Island, candles. So you can use a kind of wax to make negative space paintings with watercolor, because the water won't stick where the wax is. So you can write secret messages or just paint interesting designs and pictures using wax. So if you were able to pick up a kit from the library, you have your watercolors and you have your wax. If you were not able to pick them up, another option is to use tea. Now the colors aren't as vibrant and unique, but this painting right here, these circles and all that stuff, was just using tea. So you can use items around the house to do your painting today. Now you'll notice the shadows that I have going here. I like to paint in full sunlight, so that means my windows have shadows that we will contend with, and that's okay. So wherever you can find to paint is great. You can paint on any kind of paper. This is watercolor paper that if you pick your kit up, you will have. I like to paint on both sides so that I'm using all the paper. And I want to show you just painting with wax and my paintbrush. I like to have a jar of water to clean off my paintbrush. And I also have a paper towel so that I can wipe my brush on it to get a color off if I don't like it. So what I want to do today is maybe a secret message and maybe a design. So I'm just going to take my candle, and you can use crayons with this too, but crayons will leave a color, so, or any kind of wax. What I'm going to do is just, let's see. So you can't really see that on print, but my candle is pink, so you can kind of see it if in real life. So I wrote a secret message, and then I want to draw a picture. Let's see here. Okay, so I've drawn my picture and I've written my secret message. I'm going to take my paintbrush, get it wet, get some paint on it. Ooh, what color should I choose? Let's see here. I'm gonna saturate my paintbrush with paint. That means get the paintbrush completely full of paint. And I'm gonna take it, and it's almost a mystery. Where's my wax? Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Oh, something's coming up. Okay, I started with orange. Let's get a little more paint. Let's maybe change colors and see what happens. Okay, something's happening. Let's get a darker color too. Let's mix it all in. More paint, more paint. We definitely need more paint to decipher our secret message. It looks like I didn't press down hard enough in some places, but maybe you can discern that says hello. So my secret message was hello. And then I drew a picture below it. So can we see what that picture is? Let's find out. I've got part of it. Now, if you're doing this on your own, you would know what your picture would be. But if you're sharing it with a friend, your friend would have to discover what the picture is. It looks like I have a flower. I chose really weird colors for my flower in my secret message. So my flower is red and black, and my secret message is orange and purple. But in the end, you could have any kind of picture you wanted to have, making the wax drawing first and then painting over it with the paint. So all you need is some kind of wax. Birthday candle is what I have. If you picked up a kit, you have a candle. You could use a crayon and some watercolors or some tea. And you can, of course, just make any picture you want. Maybe the stormy sea, maybe the stormy Irish Sea, like in the Stormkeeper's Island. Maybe kind of like the cover of the Stormkeeper's Island. Or you could use the wax to make a secret message using a candle like are in the Stormkeeper's Island. So that's our creative activity for Stormkeeper's Island. I hope you enjoyed it. And let's go find out the answers to our quiz now. Well, I hope you enjoyed the painting, but we still have those quiz questions to get to. So I'm going to go ahead and start and give you the answers. We are looking at the Stormkeeper's Island, and we have some questions that we asked about it. So first of all, who is the protagonist? And now I can tell you, the protagonist is the main character. So who is the protagonist? It was Fionn. So yeah, that was a hint in the other questions. Fionn is our protagonist. He was the main character. Okay, what country was Fionn from? Do you remember that part? Before they got to the island, what country they were in? Ireland. They were in Ireland, which is an island off of Europe. Yeah. Beautiful place. Okay, what is Fionn's grandfather, Malachi? What is his profession? What does he do for work? He is a candle maker. He makes special candles, but if you got the craft kit, you'll know there's a candle in there, and that's why, because he was a candle maker. Okay, what was Fionn's sister's name? Tara. It was Tara. Fionn's sister's name is Tara, and she's a very important character in the book. What is Tara and her friend Bartley? What are they looking for? A magical sea cave that grants wishes. Oh, but might have some danger to it. And what was Fionn's greatest fear, his biggest fear, what made him really scared. It was the ocean or water. So traveling to an island was a little scary for Fionn. Did you get them all right? Good job. You can try it again and go back and review the book if you're studying for the OBOB quiz, or now you just know the answers if you were curious. So thanks for tuning in today to Book Buzz. You had a quiz, you had some book reviews, you had an activity with art, and we got the quiz answers. So I hope you had fun today, and join us again next month for Book Buzz. Cheers, bye.